What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that basketball analysis podcast live on YouTube, of course, exclusively on there. Obviously, it's going to be on Analysis Playground, and we're going to talk about the San Antonio Spurs. A lot of people wanted me to give my update of how I feel about them currently going into next season. We've seen their rookies play. We've seen some of their other guys play, even in summer league. We've seen what they did with the roster, and now they have another good guard in Dylan Harper. Victor Wembanyama. A lot of people said he was the runaway defensive player of the year until he went down with the blood clot. And I would say Wemby should be a whole lot better. And that's scary for the league because you have to look at the fact that Wembanyama only played 46 games last year. And yeah, he still could be better with his shot selection. Yeah, he could play closer to the basket, but the man is only 21 years old. And he still gave you 24 points, 11 boards, 3.6 blocks like he did. Well, 3.8 blocks more than what he gave you his rookie year, and the man just understood what he was trying to do, even getting a steal a game too. So I'm looking at it like, what more could he do? And obviously, he's going to have a different type of style because Chris Paul is not going to be there. Some other guys like Malachi Brandon are not going to be there. But De'Aaron Fox is a guy that's quick and fast. And obviously, if you can't stay in front of him, he's going to get to the basket or get to that mid range and sometimes to pull up three, which we haven't seen them enough together for that reason because of the injuries to both of them. Because remember, De'Aaron Fox did go out and get that surgery because the season was basically a wrap once Wembanyama went down. And now they got a coach that they can trust in and try to build with him. He's a young guy, one of the youngest coaches in the league. And I just like the energy this team is giving me. When I look at the Spurs and I look at what they're trying to do, I do get a little excited because they do have a lot of upside and have a lot of potential, and that makes you want to lock in and watch and keep up with it because you just don't know what this season is going to be for them. Some people say it's going to be another rebuilding year for them. Some people look at it like if Wembanyama becomes the player that we think that he might be, they should be a playoff or a play-in team, which is progress that you want to make. You want to get better and do better each and every season, even if you're a young team. And they have done that, when it comes to talent. They're getting younger, which is crazy because they already is a very young team in general. But they're shredding some of that oldness off of them, getting some guys that need to be coached, getting some guys that need to be developed, getting some guys that still trying to understand the game while still trying to compete at a high level at the NBA level, which is the hardest level when it comes to team basketball that you can play. But I'm looking at Wembanyama numbers. He has lived up to the hype so far. You would probably like him to shoot a little bit better from three. You'll probably like him taking better threes, but the man is just so much longer and so much taller than everybody he's around. It always looks like a quality shot because he's not really going to be affected by most people trying to defend him, and his field goal percentage definitely has to go up. He's just too strong now. I see that he worked on his body. I seen that he worked on his strength and conditioning too. That should make him harder to defend and harder to guard. I think they need to continue to push him with his jump shot. It's good, but it can be great and it can go from great to amazing. There's no reason why it shouldn't because his free throw percentage went from 79 his rookie year to 83% his sophomore year. And it's just crazy how much he has grown and how much he has developed. Then he has more time to work on his body. He has more time to work on his skill set because they didn't make the playoffs. That gives you more months to use wisely to become the best player you can be for the franchise that believed in you and drafted you number one. And let's be honest, anybody would have drafted him number one because of his upside. And I just hope he can stay healthy because I am looking to see how dominant and how great he can be, especially early in his career. But they had a lot of success last year, and I did look at it from time to time like they was a little ahead of schedule. I know they didn't have the greatest roster, and I know they didn't play the greatest, most consistent basketball that they could have, but they still won 34 games. They lost 48, which is a lot. And they still was in that play-in conversation from time to time. But I think that this roster just oozes out of they can be great defensively and they can be a lot better offensively too than they were last year. And I just think a lot of the guys that's on this team putting in work on their handling, putting in work on their ability to play off the ball, and putting in work to be able to get to the basket and finish at a high level. And I think Wembanyama is a guy that needs to follow that too. And I'm not saying that he's not, but he does need to work on those type of things too, so that way he can be a better player and a better offensive player, and that can help you defensively too, because it's going to make them be able to come try to score in your half court. And like I said, Wembanyama is already imposing his will defensively, and he's showing you that it wasn't a gimmick, it wasn't something that we thought was fictional, it's reality. This guy is as great as we thought he would be defensively already, and he's using that length and that size to his advantage as he should, and he's getting the best out of it. But he can be a quick or a quicker step, and he also can come over a little earlier sometimes too, because it's going to be hard to pass that ball and get around him sometimes, which can make the defense even better. And it just comes with playing the game, understanding the game, reading the game, and watching footage to be able to see what you can do to make things even more difficult for your opponent. I mean, this team has so much potential because they do have so much young talent and so much untapped potential. And even with the fact that they have salary cap to add another person that can go along with De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, or they can just pay somebody that develops to be that player, it just lets you know that the sky is the limit for this team, and they're going to be one of the most attractive teams to watch in the future. But when you look at the veterans that they have on this team, it's not really that much. Like Kelly Olynyk and Harrison Barnes is as old as it gets, and they're not even 35 or 36. Harrison Barnes is 33. Kelly Olynyk is 34. Luke Cornett is 30. And Bismack Biyombo is 32. And after that, that's it. That's it for all the 30-year-olds. And they have great spacing now. They have picked up some guys that can handle the ball and make plays, passing the ball and keeping the ball moving, or even try to find a way to collapse the defense. And then they also have guys that can just flat out just pull up if you leave them open, and they can knock down those shots at decent levels. And they have it at different positions, putting you in traps and putting you in tough situations to think that you can beat. And then you realize you got to pick your poison, and they didn't really have that ability consistency a lot of times last year, and that's something that they have with this iteration of the team. So they're doing a lot of things differently. They're looking at a lot of things that they can improve, like every team is going to be doing, obviously, and has done so far in the offseason. But it's just something about this team that just has me in the back of my mind, like I have to see it. It's like I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be great. I don't think they're going to be good, because I just have to see how great Wemby is, because he is the franchise player. He is what they need each and every night to be able to win games at a high level and a consistent level. And once we get a chance to see him again and see what he's been doing, see what he's been working on besides his body, because that's all we know right now, it's going to be crazy just to see how it turns out and how much it makes his teammates' job easier, how much he makes his teammates better, and how much they can feed off of him and put him in situations where he can score without having to work as hard and do as much to do it. I think that was one of the biggest problems that I had with the team, is that Wemby was taking some tough shots and some hard shots. And it's like, if you're going to be the franchise player and you're shooting 50%, below 50% as a center, especially with the advantages that he has with his body, that's something that should never have happened, you know. But with the personnel, you kind of have to play that way as the team was constructed the last 2 years prior to this one. They kind of had to let him do some free roaming things. And people said, well, Victor Wembanyama, he plays more like a 7-foot tall guard. And it's like, there's some truth to it. It is some truth to it, but defensively, he doesn't. Rebounding wise, he doesn't. And I feel like he can rebound better. I feel like he can handle the ball less because of De'Aaron Fox. And that was the whole purpose of bringing him in, because De'Aaron Fox made Sabonis look amazing sometimes, and Sabonis did the same thing for Fox in that tandem, especially in the pick and roll, especially with the screens, especially with De'Aaron Fox explosiveness. You always have to keep an eye on him. You always have to pay attention to him, and Victor Wembanyama can use that as let me roll to the rim, let me get deep position, let me find a way to wall off somebody so I can get a chance to go up and just dunk it on somebody, or go up and just hit a push shot on somebody, because his arms are just that long and just that easy. He can just take off from the free throw line and still finesse it or dunk it in because it's just that easy because of his body. So you want him to play more fluid. You want him to play with more motion. You want him to be able to play better off ball and not always have to grab the ball and say, how do I want to shoot it? How far I want to shoot it? That's one thing that really has been hurting his numbers efficiency wise, is that he takes a lot of shots that just shouldn't be needed for him, especially with the talent that they have coming into this year. And then Dylan Harper, obviously, he's a guy that can handle the ball, get to the rim. He's a master at that already at his age. He got a nice, big, strong frame on that body. And he's a guy that can also get dump offs and lobs that can go to Wembanyama. And those can be easy opportunities that can happen consistently, because you have to stop somebody from collapsing the defense. And then remember, Wembanyama can also go to the 3-point line, and then they can get right to the basket or right to that mid range or to the free throw line. So that can generate easy opportunities and better opportunities offensively that they just wasn't getting enough of last year. A lot of last year was them trying to find a way to jump and bump and knock their way to the line, or jump and bump and knock their way to the layups, and then they couldn't really hit shots on the perimeter. If that changes this year, that's definitely a team that can win 45 games. 45 games should be enough to get you in that playoff playing spot. That's a growth. That's improvement. That's what you want to see. And there's no reason why they shouldn't. That's why they went this way with the roster. Let's get some more rim protector. Let's get some more rebounders. Let's get some more insurance. If Wembanyama misses any time, we got somebody that we can trust out there that can get the job done, and that can leave some type of defensive intensity there too. And let's get a Kelly Olynyk who can score in switches and mismatches, and also spread the floor too for the Harpers and the Foxes and other guys on this roster. So I still like the fact that they kept some guys that they've been developing, that they've been growing, and they've been trusting to be a big part of this team. And they haven't really seen anything out there that they feel like this and Wemby's equal. We got to get that trade done, or we have to do this early. Let's just keep seeing what we have. Let's keep seeing how they become the better players that they can be as the season and as the years continue to go on. And once that opportunity comes and we like it, or we think that is mutual, let's try to make that move then, because he's only 21 and Fox is not even 30 years old. And Harper is obviously young, and so is the rest of their other talent that's going to be in the starting lineup and coming off the bench and getting legitimate rotation minutes. So I like the psychiatric things and the mentality that they have when it comes to building this roster, fleshing it out, putting the depth on it, and not getting too old, not getting too young, while also seeing guys that's NBA ready that can come in and make a change and a difference, and plug them in with a guy like Wemby, who is the foundation of this team, the pillar of this team, and he's just as big and as strong and as long to be compared to that. And we knew David Robinson could possibly be that. We knew for sure that Tim Duncan could be that too, especially when they paired both of them together. They was a tough defensive team and a team that was hard to defend. And I feel like they're going in that direction a little bit with Wemby, because now they can go big, they can go athletic, they can go small, and they can even keep Wemby in all of those lineups and still not lose anything defensively. And I think that that's one of the strongest things about the Spurs. Yeah, they might not be still great offensively. That's really going to be their problem. But it really just depends on how Wemby decides he wants to attack the defense, and if Fox can stay healthy and make it easier on him while still being efficient and still being able to get his too. And then the young guys just being able to fill out the rest of that court on both ends of the court and compete as hard as they can and still give them some length and athleticism on the perimeter, which they do have an abundance of on this roster too. But those guys still have to bring it offensively also, so things just don't fall too much on a predictable thing of De'Aaron Fox and Wemby trying to make every single shot go in that they can just to be able to win basketball games. We didn't see it a lot, like I said, because Fox went down and Wemby went down. But they're going to have a training camp. They're going to have preseason. They're going to have 82 games of the regular season to try to figure out how they work together, how they're going to play together, and how they can possibly bring a championship to San Antonio again with this era of Wemby. And some people think he's going to be great already just based off how he's been looking this summer, which I would probably agree with. The Wemby I'm seeing, I'm looking at it like, man, he's going to be a problem for a lot of players this up and coming season. And that's all he really needs to be, is healthy and dominant for this team to be able to be a 7th or 8th seed or higher. We don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, some teams can surprise you. Some teams can come out of nowhere. Injuries can happen. Franchise players can go down just like Wemby did last year, and it opens up for somebody else. And then it's just about playing consistent basketball to the highest level and doing it as much as you can throughout the season to be able to get that spot. But they should be in that conversation. I know the West is tough. I know the West is deep, but 34 games last year, they should be able to win 10 more games or close to it. And that should be enough to get them in or close to that. And that's the goal, is to continue to build and build and build and build and find a way to maintain it and keep it up as long as you can until it's time for it to go down. And then you should already be planning on how to build another franchise era before it completely falls apart. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get more analysis. And this channel is free. I'll also say I make conversation videos just like this in various NBA only topics. I do make breakdowns of legends, current legend, rookies, and also future stars. I'll do my draft and draft coverage. Other than that, I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch right now and possibly become a fan or subscriber of. If you see them, it's up to you if you want to do that. And on top of that, all I can say is thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for continuing to support the channel in the past, the present, also in the future if you want to. And hopefully you do. And all I can say is thanks for continuing to come back and making time for me. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Hope you guys are grinding for the weekday. Hope you guys are ready for another great week that's ahead of us. Stay positive as much as you can. Keep your head up as much as you can, even if something ugly or bad happens. It's how the world works. We have to deal with it. But I'd rather see you guys happy than not. Other than that, let me know what you guys feel about Victor Wembanyama and his San Antonio Spurs this season, and what you think they're going to do and how you think they're going to perform, and if you think he's going to be one of the top 5 or number 1 player in the NBA. That's what we looked at when we seen the draft happen. This guy has the ability to be a top 10 player all time when it's all said and done, if he can stay healthy majority of his career, if not all of it. But since he already got some dings on him the last 2 seasons, it does put you in reality that we human. We're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect. We have to deal with that. Plus, there's rules to stop us from cheating the game anyway, which is fair. It got to be a fair game to show if you're as good as you really are. That's the whole purpose of the NBA anyway. And Victor Wembanyama, he came, he saw, he's been conquering so far, but now he has to do it at the highest level, which is the playoffs. And we're going to see if he can lead this franchise to another championship when it's all said and done with his Spurs career. We have to wait and see. Should be fun waiting and watching along the way. All I can say is peace out. Y'all stay blessed up, and see y'all hopefully tomorrow. Gone.